everyone, and welcome to Spider's Web. Of course, I'm Spider, and this is
Lady E. Tinkerbell.
And thank you, ladies, for joining me again. And this is the web where we get wrapped up, tied up, and tangled all up in a web of great topics and great conversation. And what I decided to do was branch off and do something as far as what I would like to call kitchen talk. Because when people come to visit, 9 times out of 10, you're in the kitchen cooking, and you always wind up talking. So, with that being said,
That's also some women's favorite place to be. I know it's one of mine.
you know what? I would say it used to be some women's favorite places to be, but a lot of women today do not cook.
Isn't that crazy?
I think it's a little.
Different.
I'm not gonna say crazy because I don't want to call anybody crazy.
Yeah,
But it's crazy
Different.
and different, but it's also the way you were raised. So if
Right.
you're used to ordering and eating out fast foods and things of that sort, so you don't know about the nutrition but when you cook at home, you get the nutrition value that you need opposed to what you get when you're out at restaurants.
Right.
So today we decided to do what I like to call a surf and turf dip. This is going to be something quick, something fast. We already prepped everything. This is ground turkey. That's sauteed shrimp. This is sauteed chicken. And we have the cheese, and we have the black beans, corn, and what is this? Oh,
Diced tomatoes.
diced tomatoes.
Diced
It's kind of like a
seasoning.
little mixture we got going on here.
And we also have the Philadelphia cream cheese. So, therefore, we're going to, first thing I want to dump in first is I want to get the cheese together. Can I get the scissors? What happened to the scissors?
I think they're
Okay, so we're going to grab the scissors from out the drawer. Yep, perfect. We're going to grab the scissors, and we're going to cut this open so I can drop the whole thing. I'm going to squeeze it because if you squeeze it, then a lot of times you leave a lot of cheese in the wrap, and I don't want to leave any of the cheese because it's so good.
So how did you come up with this meal? Like, who taught you?
I am a creator. So therefore, with that being said, I like to create things. And then when someone said that they had surf and turf sandwich and this and that, and I was like,
Right.
okay, well, I'm going to try something different. So I decided to make the dip, which only consisted of ground beef. And then I turned around and I said, well, how would it taste if I added some shrimp? So I decided to add the shrimp to it, and then of course I like the beans and the corn, and I just started adding other stuff. Who knows? By next month I've been adding something else and it'll be something else.
But
But,
you know,
um,
those are the best recipes anyways, like when you do the kitchen sink type of thing. You know,
Right.
you
We
put
put everything in it, but the kitchen sink and the
right?
kitchen stove.
Those are the best recipes.
And we're adding everything but the sink. But so
Even
I
the
got
stove is added.
The stove. Well, the good thing about it is we have the crock pot. So the crock pot is real good, and I like that because after you cook everything on the stove, now you can just marinate everything into the crock pot, which we
Right.
consider calling. Let's just marry all of this together. So
Right.
the meat is going to get married with the shrimp and the cheese and the beans and the corn and the tomatoes, and we're just gonna y'all get ready. This is a wedding.
Wonderful.
This is a wedding.
Y'all are in a wedding reception.
Hello.
Yes.
So we're gonna go ahead and add the meat. We're
Alright.
gonna get this started with
So
the meat.
why you
Check it
putting
out.
that stuff in? So why do you think that it happened that way? What do you think, Sparta? Like, with the change in generation, why is it now that women don't cook now? Is it you think it's
Right.
I call it a microwave type of generation. Everybody's microwave. Everything's microwave. You're gonna microwave this, microwave that, and I feel like even with everything, food, everything, relationships.
I feel that what happened is because society has rushed, now everything is a rush. And it broke down where the men were only having to work and the women were at home cooking and cleaning and taking care of the family. And so they raised their daughters to cook and clean. But nowadays, the women of today are all about, I just need to make that money. I just need to have my own. I don't need no man. And I can always order my food and go to the fast food restaurants, which you are not getting the nutrition value and which you actually need in order to stay healthy. And I hate to keep bringing up the virus situation, but this is how we get all these viruses, because if you're not eating healthy and you don't provide all the nutrients that you need, like your vegetables and your vitamins and niacin and all the extra, a lot of our what's the word I'm looking for, ladies? A lot of our herbs and
Yeah.
spices,
Spices.
they're not cooked in the fast food restaurants. They're not
absolutely,
using
yeah.
herbs and spices. But when you're in your kitchen, like I cook the shrimp and the meat and everything, I tend to add my cumin, my turmeric, my garlic
Right.
and onions and all of that stuff.
All
in
that
there.
is
Thank
good
you so
for
much.
you.
So you add that in there, and those are also
So there's an
antibiotics.
Right.
Antibiotics. So
Yeah.
and
And
anti-inflammatory. Right. So they also help keep the body healthy.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Dave. What was you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say. So, do you feel like by us, well, by more people going into these fast food restaurants, that's where a lot of our ailments come from? Because you're not doing, you're not doing what you're supposed to, say, taking care of yourself, and then it's so many different hands touching that one thing that I go in here for a double cheeseburger, and it then went down 3 different lines before it's now my double cheeseburger.
That's right. You don't really know who's touching your food, and on top of that, like you said, you don't know what they've done before. I mean, look, we hope that everybody is sanitary in the food industry, but you just kind of don't know.
You don't know. And the sad part about it is that the fast food has literally taken away from the home of people being able to communicate. Because if I get my children McDonald's and Burger King all day, every day, Wendy's or whatever fast food restaurant we go to, everybody takes their food, go into their own little corner, and now we don't have a table setting where we get to talk about how was school,
yes.
how was your
Very
day,
important.
or things of that sort. But,
Communication.
right, communication.
So the food back in the day was a communication thing. Everybody sat down at the dinner table and it brought us together. And I want to say something, as far as like being a single woman, I still advocate for my children and I'm sitting down, and I still advocate for us eating.
I can't help
food.
it, I'm hungry. But I'm just trying to pay for it.
Healthy food. I definitely think that's important. And I want my kids to have a healthy, balanced meal.
Right.
Not just something,
Something that you can find off the street.
Right.
Right.
And who knows what they do in the kitchens in the back of the restaurants.
Right.
Don't piss them off, because if you
Please.
piss them off, you might not like your food that you're going to
Don't
eat.
piss nobody off who's operating around or with your food.
Yeah, that's a sad situation. I know this is going to be a lot, ladies, but this is going to be so chunky. I mean, and in here, like I said, I have the corn, the black beans, and the tomatoes.
So, do you think by women cooking, do you think that builds character in a person? Well, in a woman?
Let me get the rest of that out. I
No
truly
piece
feel-
left behind.
No piece,
Right.
no piece left
No
out like
piece
that.
left behind. I feel like it does to a point, because when you're in the kitchen cooking, you're actually cooking from love, and your heart and your soul goes into it. You want to make sure that the people you're cooking for enjoy it and it tastes good, and you want to make sure that you're constantly tasting it, and everything that you need is in it to bring it out. It's a difference. And before you know it, you get in there, you start singing and dancing and
Right.
Communication with your friends.
If you anything,
drinking.
hey.
And it's wonderful.
Never a show without a drink. But
Right.
okay, so I done added everything in there, and I'm gonna add the last bit of cheese in it.
Ooh, I love cheese.
That looks so
Call
good.
me a mouse. I love cheese.
Okay, mouse.
Can you put Mighty at the beginning?
No.
Change me from Tinkerbell to Mighty Mouse. It's
No,
mine
I
though.
can't help it. I'm hungry. I said I was hungry already. I can't ever wait to eat, because I'm always hungry. It's a damn shame.
Now,
but it's
but
right.
in the interest of everything Corona,
Yes.
let's get some hand
you.
wipes. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go ahead and continue to stir this in, which
It
is,
looks really good. It smells
It
really good
does.
already.
I need to just hold this still for a minute. It's got everything in it, I think. Onions, garlic, turmeric, cumin.
And isn't turmeric and cumin good for you? Like, those are
Yes.
things you need to have.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
I think that everyone, when I cook, I literally add turmeric and cumin in everything, because it really doesn't have a strong flavor. If you add too much, then it might. But if you add a little bit, even when I cook my eggs, anything, whatever the heck I'm cooking, I'm going to add it in there.
Right.
It's going to.
It's so
It
thick
looks
and
good.
chunky.
Yeah, this is a meal within itself. Although it's a dip, but it's actually a meal because it's good for children. When you have small children, you don't feel like cooking a big meal, but you know that everything that's in here, they have their vegetables, they have their meat, they have their
And the
starch, they
beans.
have everything. The corn is your starch. You have the beans, which is your protein,
Right.
along with your meat and your shrimp. So you have everything that you need in here. You have the tomatoes, which is actually a fruit, but
And
we
an
in
antioxidant.
America calls it
A vegetable.
So it's crazy, but it is what it is. But all in all, it's really good, and it is a healthy meal. And ladies, we are going to get ready to taste this.
we.
Mm-mm.
She said,
I can't help it. Maybe because I'm hungry and I'm just ready to eat. We also have chips, but did we have jalapeno peppers?
Yes.
For
What
those
happened
who
to
actually wanted the jalapeno peppers, and I didn't put them inside because the children are going to eat. So we're going to actually, after you dip your chip into it, you can add the jalapeno
On top.
of it if you want to make it a little more spicy. But because we have small children around, we don't want them to have spicy mouths. They'll be all over the place, screaming and hollering.
I have another question. I see today Tink has a lot of questions.
That's all right. Tink, come on with the questions.
Tink normally don't have many questions, but my question is like, do you feel like if more women cooked and knew how to be a woman, it would be a lot more happier women and happier men?
But why do you feel like cooking is a woman thing? Because I know some really
It's-
good men.
No, I know
who
some
cook,
men who cook, but
who
no.
throw down.
But no, the reason why I would say women cooking is because of the simple fact, like I said in the beginning, it builds character. It builds character, independence in a woman. We don't need you to always have something. Maybe sometimes just to make you feel good, I have your dinner made, have your lunch packed. I feel like that right there is something for me. It's something that leads to a strong relationship or a strong person. Not even you packing somebody else's lunch, but you having lunch for yourself. Hey, I cooked this night. Let me go ahead and put me some leftovers together and take it to work.
I'm gonna say this. Times have changed. We know that, right?
Right.
So
Definitely.
let me tell you something. My mother was a very affluent person, meaning she kind of saw ahead, and it was really weird how she raised my brother and I. We're 9 years apart. I did learn how to cook, but that wasn't her major thing. She kind of reversed the roles on us. So she taught my brother how to cook, wash clothes, fold clothes, everything. Now she did teach that to me as well, but she made sure that he learned that as well. So when he went to go seek a woman, it wasn't because he needed, it was because
he wanted.
And I'm just to separate the need and the want, because somebody had asked me before, well, do you need or do you want? I feel like one, as male and female or lovers, you do need that person. It's a part of that person that you actually need. Not. It's also along with I want them, but I also need them in my life because without them, there is no me, which makes us whole as people.
Right.
It makes us whole as a couple.
Absolutely.
But to me, I feel like the young ladies of today, they're just not in that world. Everything, and this is for another subject.
Another
Relationship,
topic, another day.
another day. This is definitely for another day. But in relationships, it's like nobody wants relationships anymore. So why do I need to know how to cook for a man that I don't even care if I have? So if I don't care if I have a man, why do I need to learn how to cook? But at the same time, when you're in a relationship and somebody asks, what do you bring to the table? And the man literally says, well, I can cook for myself, but you don't cook like I cook. I can clean for myself, but you don't clean like I clean. I can wash my own clothes, but you don't wash your clothes like I wash clothes.
I'll shout that
Hello.
thing, boo.
So therefore, for all the men out there who feel like I can do all this by myself, it's not the same until you have a woman's touch. But we're going to let this go because I'm ready to eat. So, ladies, grab a chip,
Okay.
taste it, and tell me what you think.
Yay.
Remember, this pot is hot, actually.
This pie is actually hot. And I'm going to grab one of these jalapenos, put on top of mine.
Hold on.
Spider.
I don't eat tomatoes, and those were the best tasting tomatoes I've ever had in my life.
That is some good stuff right there. Let me tell
Okay.
you.
So, we're going to cover it up so we can heat it up, so we can eat it up.
That's right.
Hey.
Hey.
So, okay, we definitely got to go because I'm ready to eat.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Until next time.
Until next time.
I'd like for everybody who's watching, give a thumbs up, a thumbs down. You can also
Subscribe.
Like.
share. Let's remember to scroll to the bottom. Yes, I still have food in my mouth. Forgive me. But scroll to the bottom, leave a message. Let us know what you think. If you want to try the recipe, just hit me up. I'll let you know what it is. if you have a recipe and you want us to try something on Spider's Web, by all means, hit me up with a message. We'll try it and we'll tell you what it tastes like. Because we don't have a problem. I mean, trust me, if this doesn't taste good, I will let you know it's not good.
We would have let her know.
We like to cook and eat. All three of us can cook very well, and we like to eat. So we will definitely let you know what the opinion is. Thank you.
Don't let the little team fool you. We actually answer back, so leave us a message.
By all means, and I do appreciate you ladies for constantly joining me on this because it's so much fun. You know, it was good when I was by myself, but it's so much better now that I have a crew with me. And now I got my ladies with me, and we're doing it. And we're hopefully to be helping others out there, not just ourselves. So this is not just something that we're doing as far as, because we don't have nothing else better to do.
Quarantined.
This is also to help others understand that, one, eating healthy helps keeping you from getting sick. And two, we might have some good information for you that you might not know about, or you might have some information to give us that we might not know about, that we can wind up talking about later on in another segment of the show. So, until next time, we'd like to say peace.
Peace.